Hello, welcome to day 8 aka day 9 of this creating a modern OpenGL game engine vlog series. So in the previous video what we was doing, we was just sort of wrapping up the settings, the initial settings class. So all we got to was the full screen feature. So let's see which framework is initialized or activated this SFML. So let's handle that first. So if we're in the CPP file, let's have a look what the sketch is. I don't think it's an SF style. I can't quite remember. Let me have a look. So I would do if it is one of these, it would be SF : style full screen. It is. So if I were to put this in there and run it, this should now be full screen. Like it's yep, it is full screen indeed. Hopefully you can actually see that. I believe you should be able to see that. So that was full screen, so I need to do essentially something very similar to what I did with window resizable. So if I go to the core settings file, is window resizable. I'm going to duplicate this so it says right here actually is window full screen. Full screen is window full screen. Or should I put is full screen? Oh no, but put window, because that is what we're making it. Full screen. Now we also need to get the appropriate getters and setters, so we can just duplicate this. Yeah, also we had some great contribution from a GitHub user called Mighty Tower, I believe, that added these constants in there, so when they return the values can't be changed, which was like a fantastic implementation of, well, for this game engine. That was just really useful. And that's what I'm hoping this game engine, I mean this series, will be sort of encouraging, is getting the community involved and just expanding it into a really, well, ideally into the world's best game engine. So get window full screen, set window full screen, is window full screen. Let's just sort out some of this stuff. Is the window screen sets? Ooh, that's wrong. It's showing me sets the OpenGL version. Sets if the window is resizable, and I'm just going to copy and paste this entire line because that will save time. Sets if it is sets if the window is resizable, is full screen. Check if window is full screen. So now in the core settings I need to essentially do the same, so I can just copy and paste this. So oh yeah, that's because of duplicates. I was like, why is he moaning about the first set? Start Windows full screen. Duplicate this into here. Probably need to remove one of these asterisks and this one right here. So this needs to be get window full screen. Set window full screen, and obviously I need to return is window full screen. Need to do is window full screen. Need to rename this variable that's been passed in. Okay, and we're done for that. And now we can actually start implementing it. So what I'm going to do is essentially duplicate this bit of code here. So I'm sure there isn't something in the setting that you can change. We can't just do settings dot. What we got is anything to do with full screen now, because otherwise you'll be in two different places. So there's only this window full screen equals 0. If get window full screen, full screen, full screen, and the other remaining bit of code that we need is in the CPP. Scroll up, need to actually duplicate this to is window full screen, set this to GL false initially, is window full screen, and need to obviously just update this accordingly. And I forgot one thing in the SFML file, and it was this needs to change to window full screen. I'm running that. This should not be full screen now. That's fine. And now if we go to the CPP file, change this to a true. This should now be full screen. Okay, yeah, it is full screen. It's a bit awkward, but hopefully you was able to see that. So now we need to do the SDL full screen. So if we go to definitions, SDL. So in the CPP, what is the sketch for this? Okay, it's very, very similar. Let me just confirm. Is it SDL underscore GL underscore full screen, or is it SDL underscore window underscore full screen? Yeah, it's a. Yep. Ooh, they got borderless window as well. Does the other one have borderless window? Because at the end of the day, that's going to be a very, very, I say very, very important, but games have it. So it'd be good to have that feature in there. First, let's just do full screen, and then I'll go into borderless. I'll make a note here, just in case I forget. Borderless. I think it's borderless window mode. I think that's what it is. Full screen. Okay, so let's continue with the full screen stuff. That's essentially the same. So what I need to do is duplicate this. Get window full screen, and then now I need to rename this to window full screen. Put that here. Need to change this to full screen, because otherwise we're just getting the resizable flag again. Need to OR it with this, so OR. Let me shut down Skype for starters. Okay, that the so that's okay. That is. Don't know, quite sort of messes up, but I honestly don't think that's a sort of a problem. I think it's something that will be fine once we, like, let's say obviously we want it to run on what's it called as well, Mac, but I think once we're not doing any recording and we got a release copy, I don't think that will be a problem. So just to confirm that it doesn't go full screen, if I go to core settings, set this to false. Okay, I'll say okay. So if we go to definition now, set this to GRFW, save that. If we go to the GRFW CPP, and in here we want to do GRFW window hint GRFW underscore full screen window. Actually, it ain't full screen, I believe. Full screen. There must be a way to set full screen in GLFW. Come on, unless you're actually modifying the window. Let's have a look. I'm gonna Google it. GLFW full screen. Okay, let's see what the window guide is saying. Okay, so it's GFW get primary monitor. GFW get primary monitor. GLFW get primary monitor. GFW visible. GFW. Let's go. Okay, sorry, my bad, it was meant to be in here. It's meant to be the second one, sorry, it was meant to be GRFW get primary monitor. What are these two methods? So one's obviously to do with the monitor, one's to do with monitor, one's to do with sharing. If I run that, they should now be full screen. Okay, so that's all good. That's all good. And make sure the audio is working. So now that we've got this to go full screen, what is that returning essentially? I need to figure out a way to whack this in here. But they putting GL true wouldn't work. I don't think whacking this into an int would work either. If I were to go int I equals it's the top of GIFW monitor, so it has to be GFW monitor input full screen. So actually I think if I go to the SDL file or any of the SDL OS file, essentially take this code, I mean copy, I don't want to actually take it out because I need it in there as well. So I'll just whack it here and put full screen, change this to Sorry, my bad, this needs to be that. Otherwise this will just be no pointer. This is a method, sorry, so this should now work. So if I put full screen over here, okay, so if I go to core settings, CPP, change this to true. Okay, that's not working. Not working at all. Because full screen is true. Actually, I think I may have. Let's get window full screen. For some reason, it seems like it's not even getting to here. So let's do a C out. STD. C out. STD. Colon and line. So it's getting into there. So why doesn't it like that being there? That is the question. Maybe it has to be done after the G has to be in it. That's all good now. Gotta sort this out. I'm happy with that now. So all I gotta do is remove the C out. I'm not interest in that. And go back to settings, change this to false. I'll have a quick look at the time, probably about 10 minutes have passed. Ooh, 17 minutes already, damn. So I need to check out Borderless Window, so if I go to G, is there anything on here actually? Borderless Window full screen, Windows, if the closest map for the desired window mode the current one, the video mode will not be changed, making window creation faster, application switching much smoother. This is sometimes called windowed full screen or borderless full screen window. Accounts as a full screen windows. To create such a window, simply request the current video mode. It also works for windowed mode windows that are made full screen. So I want to know, is that it or is something else? Windowed full screen. See what SFML says about this. Borderless. Can it not be done in here? Oh yeah, set vertical sync enable, that's what we're gonna need. Okay, so what I'm going to do is leave borderless for now. I will actually remove it from here. We've done full screen as well. want to deal with window title, which is basically what appears at the top, like so. It says GFW. What we want is it to be a universal thing. So if we go to the core settings header, we need to do window title. It's going to be GL. Did they do GL string? GL char, I guess. Actually, would it be GL char window title equals I'm just wondering, is that what I'm looking for? Could just use a regular string. So C++ is an allowed conversion from string literal to GL char, aka char asterisk. Honestly, I might as well use strings. Don't see why I wouldn't, in all fairness. So, gotta do hash include string std. So if we go to core settings.cpp, I'll just do another hash define sg underscore def underscore window underscore title. For this I'm going to put window title, default window title, default window title. This window title equals sge underscore window title. See if that builds. That is building. So if we go to the core settings header again, and what we want to do is really just duplicate one of these. Get window title std colon string. It should be get window title. Sets the window title, and this is going to be window title, the title of the window. And this is going to be called the window title. Let me change to std string window title. So now if we go to the core settings cpp, I'll literally just duplicate this last line. Start window title. Start end title. So now in here we're going to do get window title, change this to std colon string window title, set window title, and I can change this to std colon string window title. Build should be looking all good, and we got GFW now by default. So in here, don't need to do any checks with this really. No, we shouldn't. We should just be able to do core settings get window title shit, I accidentally closed Echo down. Does Chrome Launcher still work? Doesn't appear so. Reopen. I guess I didn't save it. Is that what just happened? No, I'm not interested in that. So get, need to rename this. Core settings, get window title, no matching. What does he want, a char maybe? It requires a constant char title. I believe I can just do c_string, and that should now work. So if we run it, default window title, and if I just essentially do the same for SDL, for SFML, and now in the core settings file, all I'm gonna do is change. I was gonna change. Now in the definition, I just want to confirm that I've got no errors. I have no doubt that if there's no errors and it launches, you'll have the right title. But technically, there isn't a way of finding that. For SFML days, simply because the window will be smaller. Okay, that's all good. We've now done window title now. We can go into Vsync. So according to this, Vsync is very simple. You just set vertical sync enabled to true, set frame rate limit. We could do a frame rate limit method as well. See what GFW does for Vsync. No, that's not what I want. That can't be it. It can't be GIFW swap interval, is it? Maybe it is. So if I were to go to definitions, GFW, that's fine. In the CPP file, anywhere really. So if I were to just put it here, if I go to definition, yeah, so it's Vsync. That seems to be very easy. GL. What was the parameter it took? They're just putting 1 and 0 in, but an integer. So if you just on or off, they would just put it as Boolean, so true or false. So we got we found the Vsync method. So want to know what's the way of actually setting a particular frame rate. GL FW swap interval. GFW swap interval. The minimum number of screen updates to wait until the buffers are swapped. Is that what I want? Number of screen updates to wait before buffers are swapped. Because for SML figured it out, but GFW set vertical synchronization. What are the words to misspell there? It's been about 4 days since I started learning OpenGL. Don't care about that. You have to wrap the code to enable, disable Vsync on Windows, so you don't need to worry about it. Set the value 0 or for off and 1 for on. I can't think why you'd even set it to more than 1. One other thing, if Vsync is on, you are locking the frame rate of your program to whatever the refresh rate of the monitor is. Oh. Oh, why the hell this is a separate sort of window? Wondering, can you provide a value higher than 1? Would that actually do anything? Otherwise, if it's only 0 and 1, why would they not just use a boolean? Okay, if interval 0, the swap will take place immediately when GFW swap buffers is called, without waiting for a vertical retrace, also known as Vsync off, although at least interval retraces will pass between each buffer node, also known as Vsync on. Using a swap interval of 0 can be useful for benchmarking purposes when it is not desired to measure the time it takes to wait for the vertical retrace. However, a swap interval of 1 generally gives better visual quality. It should be noted that not all OpenGL implementations on hardware support this feature. There is a way to actually set frame rate. GLFW set frame rate. I am getting tired. I think you can probably see that. Just really want to get frame rate. See, I'm not talking about rendering the frame rate. I'm talking about setting the frame rate. Slightly different. Okay, I'm just going to do Vsync for now. Need to look at GFW, no, not GFW, SDL Vsync. Set swap interval, that seems to be the same sort of method. Interval. Either way, this is the way it is. So the GFW swap interval, where should I put this? I think anywhere there after I created a window, I guess, should suffice. Actually, it should be anywhere after this, really. So GFW swap interval. Okay, first of all, I need to go into the core settings. The thing is, though they're using an int, I'd rather not use an int, I'd rather use Boolean. That's essentially the way it should be. It's either on or off. I'll use Boolean and then I'll just adjust it accordingly in the framework section. Is Vsync enabled? Is Vsync enabled? Boolean is Vsync. So if we go to the core settings, HPP first, undo what I just did. In the CPP, if we go all the way to the top, and I'll type in hash define SGE underscore def underscore v underscore sync. GL underscore false. Now let's use this equals SGE underscore def underscore vsync. Now in the core settings header, I need to create some getters and setters for it as usual. So let's just copy and paste this into here. Sets if Vsync is enabled, check if the Vsync is just sets if v sets the check if sets Vsync status on or off. Check if window check if Vsync is enabled. Set Vsync. So I also need to change this to this. Is the is Vsync enabled. Tired, man, proper tired. Definitely need to get this done quick. Check if Vsync is enabled. I'm just going to copy and paste this into here, change this into get. And if we go to the core settings CPP, can literally just, I'm just going to go to the Boolean one and duplicate that one. Less code changes this way. Start Vsync 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 1 2 1. I'm just gonna copy and paste this over here. I think it would just be easy to take stuff away and to add it. So, and I mean, less stuff to add. It'll be easier. Get Vsync. Get Vsync. Is Vsync. Okay, what did I name that? Is Vsync. Yeah, is Vsync. Don't tank because of that. Vsync. It was as well. So if I just rename these two to the Vsync, Vsync, set, Vsync. Just want to make sure that it's in the set I named is Vsync. So in CPP is Vsync, that's all good. So in GFW, what I'm essentially going to do is do a quick little thing like so. I'm going to put GL int Vsync. This is going to be get Vsync. So if it gets it, fantastic. Vsync will now be set to 1. Else Vsync equals 0. So in, where were they at? Vsync should be semicolon here. Build, that should build now. What I'm going to do is just do this for SDL and SFML now. So if we go to definitions, let's change this to SDL. Now in the SDL file, where would we put Vsync? I think it's SDL underscore GL underscore get set swap interval. GL int Vsync, get Vsync, that's fine. So I guess I'll just go to copy and paste that into here. Now, finally just need to do the last one, SFML. So if we go to definitions, go to the SFML CPP, before the init, I'll put glint vsync Ooh, sorry about that. Where was I? Vsync. So I need to do settings. Settings dot. I guess it isn't here. It was part of the window, my bad. I'm actually going to cut that out and put it here. And now let's do window dot set swap interval. Set frame rate limit, no. Set vertical sync enabled. For this, I don't even need anything, so I can just do core settings, get vsync. So I can actually just get rid of all this vsync code. One thing I did want to check in the CPP was I'm using glint, but in the core settings am I using glint? No, I'm using a boolean. Oh my god, that's fine. That is fine indeed. Go to definition, HTML. So done then. I'm pretty happy with that so far. I'll have a look at frame rate tomorrow. Frame rate. Okay, so that is it for day 8 of this creating a modern OpenGL game engine. Like I say, you can probably tell that I'm really tired. I'll be going to bed in a moment. Feel free to comment, feel free to message us on sonarline.co.uk. Feel free to message us however you want. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button and leave us a comment. And yeah, really looking forward to work on this again tomorrow. Probably do it early morning, so essentially you'll be getting a vlog in this series within probably about 12 hours of each other. Yeah, really looking forward to that. Actually, before I go, I'll launch up GitHub and I will push this to GitHub so you have the latest code when you see this video. So I want to make sure that is the case. Replace the entire folder. So just to confirm it's replaced it with the right one. If we're going to here, going to really it's just the settings that I'll be able to tell by. So if I go down here, vsync, yes. If I go down here, vsync. That's it. So now all I need to do is just commit these changes. Locate. Okay, so what I need to do is do modern OpenGL day 8 aka day 9 because we started at day 0. Commit to master, push, so that means sync it, which is pushing it. Okay, so now we go to modern OpenGL game engine. Ah shit, I think the notes will have been messed up. Okay, that's fine. Notes have been slightly messed up. Oh no, they haven't. I just forgot to put the frame rate thingy-majiggy there. Okay, so that is it for this video, and I'll look forward to seeing you in another one. It's already been 50 minutes. It's already been 50. God darn this. Goodbye.